Okay guys, so we're going to demonstrate the final part of the process with Gucci here and one of my trainers, Eric. So what we're doing now with Gucci is the 2-1 rule, and I'm going to explain this. So in steps 1 and 2, you saw us start the whole process with the electric stimulation. So the dog would receive the electric stimulation, tap, 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 and then the command, and then we would help the dog with the line if necessary and move away and praise and reward, okay? Now what we're doing is this dog has shown us on the line all the correct behavior. He's very sensitive. He's not failing recalls on the line. He doesn't need us to help him by pulling on the line anymore. He's basically ready to be taken off the lead. Okay? So now what we're doing with him is we are calling him in a new manner. So we're going to say, Gucci, come. If Gucci ignores the command, he's going to receive a correction on the e-collar. We're no longer tickling him on the e-collar or being annoying. We are correcting him on the e-collar for not coming. Okay? And when he comes, of course, we'll still go through the whole process of moving away from him, praising him, rewarding him. Now, if he fails that recall, what we're going to do, and by the way, when I say fail, what I mean is you had to give him an electric correction. If you have to give him an electric correction for not coming when he's called, then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the old way for 2 reps. And the old way, remember, is we start with the electric stimulation. Now, the electric stimulation will not be high, but it will definitely be on a medium level so that it is, you know, very perceptible to the dog. So we'll do 2 recalls like that, where we go electric, 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 and then call the dog. So this is the 2-1 rule. And then after he does 2 of those recalls, we will go back and we will just say, Gucci, come. And if he comes, then we will praise. There will be no electric involved in the process. If he doesn't come, then there will be a correction. And it is very normal in this part of the process that, you know, you take the dog through the whole cycle a few times until the dog really understands that coming isn't a option. Now, what a lot of trainers do, and this is the big mistake a lot of people make with the e-collar, they never move away from tickling the dog with the e-collar because they kind of want to feel good about it. Oh, you know, it's just a communication, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not just a communication. It's also a correction. And correcting a dog is communicating, by the way. So I guess you could technically say that that is true. We're just going to pan away from Gucci. No one wants to watch him do that. Anyways, what we're doing now is we're proofing. We're showing the dog that, you know, coming to the handler is not an option. There is a consequence if he doesn't come, because my goal is to not have to use the e-collar very much, if at all, in the future for him. So that's not going to be accomplished unless we show the dog that there is now a consequence that he understands, by the way, for failing to perform a behavior that he knows. Okay, so he knows without a doubt what a come is. So why don't you call him, Eric, the new way? So just call him, no correction unless he doesn't come.
Gucci, come.
So here he ignored, he's smelling. So you can see he got the correction.
Job,
Everything else is the same. Good. And you can see Eric's kind of doing a bit of a finish with him that he also is working on a little bit. Don't worry about finishes for now. I don't want finishes right now. I just want recalls. So let's not complicate it. Good. Okay, so my critique is he needs a little more correction there. It's not enough. Yeah, it should be a bit more of a consequence for failing. So now, well, actually go back down, because now we have to do 2 reps the old way. So 2 reps. Wait, not yet. Just walk and ignore him. So now you can see the dog's like kind of like, okay, I'm going to stick with him. Right? We're just going to have to walk until the dog kind of becomes distracted. And when he becomes distracted, then we're going to call him with the electric leading the way again. Not yet. Wait till he's, there you go, call him.
Gucci.
Praise him. And I'm going to explain to you why we do this, guys. We do this, again, to prevent the command from being poisoned, okay? I don't want the dog to perceive the command as a bad thing, all right? So now we're escalating the level on the e-collar to proof the behavior. So it's really important in this stage when the dog, like what you saw on the first command where he was smelling something and he said, forget you, I'm not going to come. Just start with the stim again.
Gucci.
So you can see. When he's, and this is a dog, it's very common for, you know, intact males when they're smelling maybe the urine of another female or even another male, they just become very resistant to recalls, especially a stubborn guy like Gucci. So now you can see he got the electric leading the way on 2 recalls. Now the 3rd recall, we're going to go back to the new way. So now you're going to escalate on the e-collar and he's going to get a chance to do things the right way. So we're going to ignore him. until he leaves you alone. And then we'll call him. Again, guys, for the sake of the video, we're doing a lot of recalls in a row here. Normally what I'll do is I'll kind of let the dog run around a bit and kind of be free. And then, you know, we'll do a recall. Otherwise, what happens is the dog ends up just like staying next to you all the time, which is not desirable. I want the dog to feel like he can go away from you. So just move away over there, like on the fence, Eric, so that he can like smell the fence. You know what, guys? We're going to take a break. We're going to pause the video so that Gucci can have like 5 minutes of no recalls, and then we're going to start. Because if we do another recall now, he's not going to leave the handler for the rest of the session, which is not desirable for us.
Gucci, come. Yes, buddy.
So again, there was no e-collar involved in this one, right? So now the next recall, because he was successful, there will be no e-collar involved. All right, we're just going to call him no electric. Not yet. All right, we'll take him towards those dogs over there, maybe. All right, call him now.
Gucci, come.
Praise him. So again, no e-collar involved, right? No e-collar involved because, again, the dog is performing all the behaviors successfully. And, you know, and just to reiterate, guys, like if he fails on the next one, then we're going to start again with the electric, just like what we did in steps 1 and 2. And this is kind of nice, you know, the way he's walking is kind of nice because, you know, he's always kind of keeping his eye on the handler. And even though he's not directly with the handler is always part of his thought process. Okay, call him now.
Gucci, come.
Big praise. Yeah. So, and you see Gucci turned around. He saw me. He started moving towards me, and he did receive a collar correction there. All right. So now you're going to do 2 the old way. No, don't do it yet. Yeah. So, guys, you get the idea. All right. In the end, what we want. So I'm going to do this another week with this dog, where we kind of do the 2-1 rule, and then from there, when the dog becomes like about 95+% in success on the recall, then I just move exclusively to correcting him with the collar if he chooses not to come. But that is only accomplished once we've spent the proper time doing steps 1 and 2 in the conditioning. So roughly maybe about a week in step 1, a week in step 2, and then another week in step 3. That's a good part of the process. Just call him no e-collar this time.
Gucci.
Big praise. Good. We'll end on that successful note. Excellent. Okay, guys, so we've progressed now to step 4 with this little staffy mix, and the dog is very proper, well conditioned to the recall. And the only time the e-collar will be used is if the dog refuses a recall. And again, now it's going to be on a little bit of a higher level, not high, but on a level where the dog cannot ignore it. So I don't think he's seen those horses before. So let's walk him towards the horses. So this is perfect. All right. Yeah. No control. Just let him do his thing. Just do 1 recall before. Call him. Good. A little bit slow on the turn there. So now if he does a slow turn, we'll just make a correction. So the dog, I got some horses over there. The dog hasn't really seen horses. So this is an example of why we make obligation in our recalls, because you're always going to run into something the dog hasn't seen before, especially with a young dog. So this is where we create this concept of reliability with the dog, so he understands. Call him.
Bruno! Yeah! Oh, Bruno!
See, he saw the horses in the background. He went right by the trainer. The trainer turned around, hit the electric. Because the dog failed on the recall, even though he came towards the trainer, he did fail on the recall. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take him around these horses, and we are going to make him reliable. We'll see. Call him.
Bruno!
Praise. And you can already see now the dog kind of changed his mentality, right? He changed his mentality because you can see he kind of checked back a little bit. Walk him down the little corridor there. And whenever you see your dog becomes highly interested in something, that's the time to start calling your dog. Call him.
Bruno!
Praise him. That's the perfect response. You see the dog immediately a 180, and he committed very heavily to coming to the trainer, and that's what we want to see. So now we've called him a few times. We're gonna we'll let him get right up on that horse there this time. Just walk. He hasn't seen it yet. He doesn't know that Champ is right there. So, okay. Let him. See, he's almost expecting the recall. Call him.
Bruno!
Up, electric. Praise him.
Yeah!
So you can see there, the horse moved away. Oh.
Bruno, good.
Now turn away from him again one more time, and just see how much committed he is. Call him again. Call him.
Bruno!
Right. Yeah, reward him.
There you go, buddy.
And so you can see, the dog got in a state of excitement, and he actually, because of the stimulation of the horse, he refused that recall. Because the horse moved away, he became excited, and that's where he was corrected. But you can see the correction for the dog is super clear. He understands now. So this is in the final stages of the proofing process, right? So what we're going to do now is, again, the dog is super clear on the electric. There's no question about where he is from a clarity perspective on the electric and where he is emotionally. He's in a positive emotion, but he's also very excited about the environment. So now you're going to go up, and we're going to make a big correction on the dog if he chooses to ignore a recall. And then after that, he will not ignore another one. So call him.
Bruno!
Bang, electric. Ah, there we go.
Boy!
Good. Chip. And this is an important part, and you'll feed him if he will eat. This is an important part if you guys watch a lot of recall videos. Trainers will not show you this, right? It'll all be, oh yeah, you just stay on the low levels and it's all just great and fun and rainbows and everything will be perfect. It's like, look, we have a nice, an independent little dog here. He loves to, he's very interested in the environment. Let's walk a little closer to the horse over there. He likes the environment, and he's under some different stimulation. Now, all of a sudden, even though he knows what we want, he's making decisions not to do it. And the e-collar stimulation for him is not overly sensitive. It doesn't particularly bother him. So he's choosing to, wait a little bit for those corrections. So if we keep just kind of like bumping him here, this is perfect. Let him take the horse in a bit if he wants to. Just make sure he can see you. Go down there a little bit. I don't think he cares anymore. Okay, call him.
Bruno!
Praise him. Feed him. Chip.
Good boy! Yeah!
He's avoiding the horse a little bit. It's
Yeah.
okay. So go down there a little more. Right? So it's so important now in the proofing process, or even just later, like as you take your dog through life, right? There are going to come times when you might notice, hey man, this guy's a little sticky on recalls. He's taking his sweet time to get back to me, or he's waiting for stim. There's a lot of dogs, they can develop this habit, especially once they become very familiar with the electric, where they always wait to feel it. And if I see a dog waiting to feel it, I need to get him out of that immediately. Call him.
Bruno!
Praise him. So now you can see the dog has not required the electric at all for the last like maybe 2-3 recalls, right? Because now he's cued in. Let's walk back. Now he's cued in, right? And he has been disciplined for failing, and that was a discipline. Like we went up on the electric a fair bit, right? So he was disciplined for failing a recall, and now he's in a state of mind where he's like, okay, I'm not going to wait for that. The second I hear the command, I must come. And I see it often with dogs where they have not been, disciplined. They've never left the conditioning level. And like I said, a lot of trainers will have you believe that you just condition the dog forever. And it's like, no, you do not condition the dog forever. Otherwise, you create a dog that is reliant on the e-collar for every recall. Like this one, where he's like, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait until I feel it, and then I'll come. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. You must come. The whole idea is that you don't wait. The e-collar is just there just in case. So if you have a dog who's waiting always for the e-collar, then you have a dog who's not reliable. Okay?